Alcatraz Island, San Francisco, California. Alcatraz Island in San Francisco was a military base converted into a federal prison, housing many of the most notorious criminals in the United States. About Alcatraz Island. Alcatraz Island is an island located in the middle of San Francisco Bay in California, United States. Alcatraz was once a military fort and then a high-security prison. It is now a historical site managed by the U.S. National Park Service as the Golden Gate National Recreation Area and is open to tourists. The island is listed as a National Historic Landmark. Its land area is 0.0763 square kilometers. According to the 2000 census, the island is uninhabited. The first European to discover the island was Juan Manuel de Ayala. The name of the island comes from the Spanish word derived from Arabic for pelican. The island's nickname is the Rock. It is also home to the oldest operating lighthouse on the west coast of the United States. It is now a colony of seabirds, mainly western gulls, cormorants, gannets and egrets. The island offers beautiful views along the San Francisco coast. It is also the starting point for triathlons. History of Alcatraz Island. Alcatraz was first built as a military installation in 1850 and later converted into a military prison, until 1933. The United States Penitentiary on Alcatraz was taken over by the United States Department of Justice on October 12, 1933. The island became a federal prison in August 1934. The prison was intended for prisoners who had caused problems in other American federal prisons, escapes, riots, murders of fellow prisoners, etc. During its 29 years of use, the prison held notorious criminals such as Al Capone, Robert Franklin Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz, and Alvin Karpis, who was held at Alcatraz longer than any other prisoner. During its operation, the prison claimed no escapes, although as with most prisons, some inmates attempted to escape, but failed. Approximately 36 prisoners made 14 escape attempts, 2 of whom tried twice, 23 were captured, 6 others were shot dead in the attempt, 2 drowned, and the remaining 5 were listed as missing and probable drowned. The prison also provided housing for the Bureau of Prisons staff and their families. Today, family members who lived on the island and called it their home can join the Alumni Association and participate in the annual reunion that celebrates the opening of the prison the second weekend in August. Most family members have fond stories to tell about their experiences growing up on the Rock. By order of U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, the prison was closed for good on March 21, 1963. It was closed because it was far more expensive to operate than other prisons, and the bay was polluted by waste from the approximately 250 prisoners and 60 Bureau of Prisons families on the island. The U.S. Penitentiary, a traditional prison built on land, was opened the same year to replace Alcatraz. In 1969, a group of American Indians from various tribes, calling themselves the United Indians of all tribes, many of whom had moved to the Bay Area under the government's withdrawal program, occupied the island, and proposed establishing an educational, environmental, and cultural center. According to the occupants, a Sioux treaty recognized that all unused federal land should be returned to the native nations that had previously owned it. During the occupation, several buildings were damaged or destroyed, including a recreation room, Coast Guard quarters, and the warden's house. Several other buildings, mostly apartments, were demolished by the U.S. government after the occupation ended. After an 18-month occupation, the government forced them out. Also known as the Rock, the island was featured in the 1996 movie of the same name. Dozens of films, including Escape from Alcatraz and X-Men: The Last Stand, have featured Alcatraz since 1937. If you want to visit Alcatraz Island, there are several tour options available. Bring your own earphones for the audio tour, and expect the visit to last at least a few hours, including the ferry to and from the mainland. It's a spooky but fascinating journey into the inner workings of this infamous site, and exploring the varied and often dark history of Alcatraz Island is an unforgettable experience. Alcatraz Island is only accessible by ferry. Ferries depart regularly from Pier 33, on the Embarcadero. The tram stops a few hundred yards away. The Embarcadero and Greenwich St and the 27, 54, and 72 buses also stop very close by. There is private parking, but be prepared to pay a premium for this.